and welcome to this new video. This video is only about editing, so let's jump right into it. As you can see, I'm here in Final Cut Pro 10. This is my editing software. This is the editing software I'm going to be using today. And you can already see the timeline of the video you just saw. I'm going to take you now a little bit through the editing process and what I've done for effects and sound effects and all that stuff. Let's just start here at the front. Here I've got my color grade overlay tool, which I used for the whole film. I used it to color grade my clips, as you can see. It's just an overlay. And then I've got the letterbox overlay here. These are the black bars, so if I delete them, you can see the black bars disappear. And if I put Command Z, then they will appear again. These cinematic bars I usually use for all my videos because they just make the whole video look more cinematic and professional. I'm sure if you do those kind of videos, you know that already. Then also I've got here my name as well, Jan Cinematography. It appears like randomly and disappears randomly again. Pre-installed title from Final Cut. Then here, the transition I've got here, this is a transition from Pixel Film Studios. If you don't want to buy plugins or you don't have the money to buy transitions, then you'll like the next video, because in the next video I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the zoom in and zoom out transition with no plugins. It's free and I will do that video very soon. For every single transition here, you can see I've got this transition sound. I use them because it gives, like, I don't know, it just feels a lot more cinematic, and I think it looks much cooler if you have this sound effect for transitions. I can do a little playback. So you could see it's like a whoosh kind of effect, but I found this on YouTube. You just need to type in transition sounds or something like that and you'll find basically more than enough to use in your videos. I use also the Wind 2 for scene 1 because the drone's flying relatively close above that field, so it gives a little atmosphere to the video. So I've used this transition here. It's the slide motion blur easy ease with some adjustments. I didn't put any slide delay or tilt amount, and I put that basically all on 0, and the slide delay I put on, I don't know, like 1.5 or something. I like to use only 1 times, not 2 times or anything, so it's just the simplest thing possible. Then I've got my scene 2. Here I've got my water lake 1 with the 3 duck noises, and there's like the audio is guided in a little bit. I don't know, do you say guided in? That's not a word, but that's the only sound design I used for the water here. Didn't put any forest sounds or anything. I just liked it only with the duck and the little water. Then I've got this slide kind of transition as well, and I just used also the same water lake, just I cut about 10 seconds in the middle so it sounds different and the sound effect doesn't go all the way through. That wouldn't sound too natural. As well as I used this whoosh, this whoosh 1. I actually turned it around, so you can see I slowed it down and I've turned it around, and yeah, that's basically what I did to get this feeling of me flying through those bushes here. Then I've got the transition sound effect here as well. And here, this is the interesting part. I think that's my favorite scene in the whole video. I'm just gonna show you this one real quick. So you could see, first of all, I put the whoosh effects onto the clip and I managed to fit them in the right place so that it sounds natural when the drone flies past those trees. Also, if you don't listen with headphones, you probably didn't notice that. So I put the sound effects on different sides. So for example, when there's this tree here on the right side, you can see it's on the right side. I zoomed in a little bit, so I zoomed in by 120.5%, and I've keyframed it a little bit, so you can see at the beginning of the scene the picture's like that, and then it goes all the way through and turns, and at the end of the scene the picture's like that. I thought that looks cool. Then this is a zoom out effect. This is the kind of effect I'm going to show you in the next video how to do without any plugins required, so stay tuned. You can see how that looks. I mean, it looks totally cool, right? Just this zoom out effect, it looks seamless. You can add it basically anywhere to any kind of clip. You can also reverse it, so that's a zoom in and not a zoom out. It just looks really cool, and you can actually do that quite easy within about 5 to 10 minutes with no plugins. Also here I've got the Grasshopper FX1 effect, and I've cut it a little bit with some transitions in the middle, just simple transitions for the sound, because the original sound is like one grasshopper, then there's like a 5-second gap, and then there's the next one, and that wouldn't have fit with my 4-second clip, so I've cut that a little bit. Also, I made the grasshopper go one, then a little break, and then another sound, and then another sound, so it sounds like this. That turned out pretty good. Then another slide, motion blur, easy ease, transition, as well the whoosh effect. And then this is where I rode my bike. At the beginning I thought I wouldn't use that scene, but I'm glad I made that. I used the bicycle ride sound effect, and it has this gear change, which sounds quite natural, as if I would have done that in reality. Here I've got the slow motion of the leaves. I didn't add any sound effect there. I thought just having the leaves just blow in slow motion with the wind sounds fine. And then I've got again the slide upwards, because this one was filmed on the ground, and then this one's a sky shot, and that makes sense, obviously. And here I saw this on a YouTube video from TMS. So basically they added an eagle sound, and I just typed an eagle in Final Cut and I didn't have any. So I went on YouTube, I got one sound effect, and I added it via the Finder to Final Cut. So now I've got this eagle sound effect. Also the wind to make the scene look more dramatic, and then basically a long fade out. The reason why I use this transition as a fade out is because you can have it linear here, and when you do like this and you just use it how you should use it, then it is this S curve, and I like it linear. I don't like it going a little bit quiet and then really quiet suddenly, and that all fades out. And then I have my name right at the end. So that took me actually quite a while, because if I zoom in here, you can see how many titles I've got here. So basically I've got 1, 2, 3, they're all going down, then I've got random letters, then I've got a little break, then I've got Jan, then I've got Pink, then I've got all the letters of my name as well with a little break here. You don't really notice that. Then I've got my name, then I've zoomed in my name, and I also added my name to the left side. And yeah, that's basically how I did this effect. And then right at the end I had this beep sound, and I had a little break, and then I added my letters spread, and then they disappeared. And yeah, that's basically the editing breakdown of my nature B-roll. I'm going to show you in a future tutorial this kind of letter thing. I'm going to show that in detail in another tutorial, which is also coming. But the next tutorial will be the transition effect with no plugins, so definitely stay tuned to that. And I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Leave your questions or anything you want to say down in the comments below. Subscribe, leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.